Well, it's our Christmas episode. 3 out of the 5 people dressed up. If you couldn't tell what I dressed up as, it's Rudolph. So I got a big ass pimple on my nose. Anyways, we got Evan Hozinski here. And Evan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for those who don't know you?
Sure, you mean everybody. Yep, my name's Evan Ozinski. I used to work for APT Big Daddy at awesome companies. I've been a pen tester going on 4 years now, maybe a little longer than that. Got into digital forensics before that, and ever since then, I've been doing a lot of work with password cracking and like hash cracking and analytics on that kind of stuff. And then started talking at conferences recently. I went to GurCon and did one, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. I just like to program, I like to hack things, and I like to hash crack. It's like a dopamine kick. It's better than drugs.
Yeah,
Fair.
I can confirm that. Our like Discord for trauma bonding is just filled with this guy putting passwords that are like pretty fucking weird into there. Like the hashes are, you know, like that can't be allowed. Somehow it's allowed.
It is, yeah.
But no, sweet. Thanks. Welcome to the idiots. There's absolutely no agenda for anything that we're going to talk about. So best of luck. Hopefully you can keep up. Most of the time, these guys can't either. So what are we talking about today?
Paranoids.
Yes.
Not the Reddit post.
No. Who wants to start on this one? Because this is a fun one.
I think Bobby, you found it. You want to kick us off with it?
Yeah, Yahoo canned their whole red team. They're outsourcing under a new CISO leadership. So one of the more respected and long tenured red teams is no more. So
And, like, it wasn't just the red team. If you go through that article, there's like 40 to 50 people on that cybersecurity team that are gone from beginning of the year.
25% of their entire team is gone. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, one, I didn't know the team was that big, but if I was an adversary, I'd be like, one, they are absolutely on the top of my list, but now I know how many people you have too.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, just call it right out.
Yeah.
No. What was I just reading? Man, ADHD just took over. It was about the paranoids, and I just totally, dude, sometimes I surprise myself as well. Totally fucking forgot. Hopefully we cut that piece out. Anyways,
we're not gonna do that.
we're not.
It's gonna keep. We're gonna keep going. Yeah. No, I think this is probably one of the biggest blunders to the OffSec kind of industry, because like paranoids have always kind of seen them as being probably top of the industry as far as leaders go. You know, alongside of Spectre Ops, but not as a consulting firm, right? Like these guys put out a lot of good research. To just like turn around and go, fuck it, we don't need you guys anymore, seems like pretty stupid. It shows a lot of lack of foresight. I don't know. What are you guys' opinion on it? Other than Bobby, because Bobby already gave us.
It looks like they were just cutting all of Cybers. I don't know if it was targeted or not, but yeah, it looks like a mistake depending on what their goals are. Just knowing who they are in the industry, it just seems like a mistake. There are probably other better places they should start acting first, in my opinion.
Yeah, but as people inside the industry, and we've said this a billion times, a lot of places see cyber as a cost center. We're just a sinkhole where people have to pour money, and if I can cut that out, I'll cut that out. They don't look at it like the insurance policy that it really is, and it's the first thing that gets whacked. So
that's the issue we have.
Am I surprised? No, not at all.
Well, we've seen this before because when I worked with you, remember we had issues with research. Like everybody wants the benefit of the research, but nobody wants to pay for the research, right? So if somebody's willing to go outside of their 9 to 5 and do the research and bring back something for the team, the company's happy. But the second they do it on the clock, they're not happy about it. So because it costs money.
Yeah, but I feel like with an internal team, I mean, I've only been in consultancies, right? So I don't really know how the internal world works, to be honest with you. But like with internal teams, I feel like there should be a lot more freedom towards researching. Like, is that not necessarily the case when it comes down to OffSec inside like a specific company that really you don't have any other left or rights outside of that company, right? Because they weren't doing consulting, were they?
I don't know if it's consulting specifically, but I know they do a lot of research, like you said, and I think that just kind of brings me back to the point. It's like I think research is like heavily, what's the word I'm looking for? Like frowned upon in a way, I think, by like the people who have to pay the bills, right? Because they're looking like, what do we get out of this? If they don't come up with anything, it just looks like a suck, right? Even though they've spent all these hours and might not find anything. So
Yeah, but like devil's advocate, what do you get out of it if it's not producing or generating revenue?
yeah,
Eminence.
it's never a guarantee, though, right? That's why it's research. So
I feel like eminence is a big portion of research, though, right? Like bringing. I mean, this goes down to the early days of hackers, right? Bringing the clout to the individuals who are actively finding the wazoo, crazy, wild stuff. Like that lends good credit to the organization as a whole, because that looks like you're benefiting much more broadly than, hey, I went and pen tested X group and we found X vulnerabilities, right? Like,
I think it's within certain circles. If I'm the, C-suite of Yahoo, and I've got this team that's well respected, but they're well respected in the cybersecurity community, is that cybersecurity community paying me, and am I benefiting from it? And if it's just my people are super well respected and they know what they're talking about, but I'm not benefiting from it, I think there's an argument to be made. I I've had this conversation in the past. When you are not in a form of consulting, how do you turn cybersecurity from a line item into something that generates revenue? I think that's a pretty hard task. I don't know if you guys have seen that done well, but I don't know if I have.
I think we need to take away the idea that everyone needs to be a shooter, right? And it's definitely a military term. I'm not saying like a Luigi, right? More so like a guy who kicks down doors and finds terrorists.
We made it 5 minutes before you brought that up.
7, 8,
Eight?
8 minutes, 8 minutes and 8 seconds technically.
Longer than I expected.
Look,
minutes
but
longer.
like not everyone in Rod just wrote, "We lost another sponsor." Yeah, 100%. It was Nintendo. We lost Nintendo, boys.
That's the big one we were going after.
The industry just cut us off, boys.
No, but
a
like
healthcare company.
in business, like, there is that contention of like everything needs to make the business money, but the fact is that not everything is going to make you money. There is going to be areas in which you have to invest in for either safety reasons or regulatory reasons or whatever it may be. I don't think that cyber should find a way of being a revenue generating item for organizations that are not providing that consulting element to other organizations, right? They're not using it in a B2B sense. So like why do we have to try to find justification in revenue generating versus justification in saving or insurance?
Well, I think if you're going to complain about a lack of budget or a lack of investment, an easy way to combat that is showing value through generating revenue. So I'm not saying that it's a must. I'm saying that if you can, you have more justification to continue growing out your team, and you have more justification to have that budget for investment.
But I also think a lot of cyber places just do it wrong, right? So like I've seen a lot of places like every cyber team wants like a tool. Like everybody wants to say like I have a tool, we're spending all the time deving this tool. And then on top of that, like we're also gonna do consulting, and on top of that, we're also gonna try to develop 0 days. Like they want to do all of it at once, right? And then it just ends up going nowhere because there's no direction. And then it fails. And so everybody looks at that and says, well, it's probably cyber that's failing. And in reality, it's just the vision wasn't there. So I think there's a lot of problems with like the vision in a lot of companies too.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I kind of understand where you're coming from. I think that when we talk about like lack of budgets, it tends to be not necessarily out of a lack of revenue, right? It's not like these companies are struggling. And if it was a budgetary item, you would expect to probably see, all right, less than profitable metrics in the market. But like Yahoo isn't struggling. Their biggest competitor, Google, still runs their own pretty massive team themselves. So like to drop a capability of rivalry right there, that now you've just said, all right, hey, in this market, Google owns it. and Google's going to continue to push out their DefSec, or their not their DefSec, but their what is their team called?
You talking about the Mandiant guys?
No, not Mandiant. So they had like a research arm in Google for
Project Zero.
Project Zero. Yeah. So like finding vulnerabilities and all that jazz. Like now that it's uncontested. Like essentially Google owns that.
Yeah.
No, I don't. What? Ask Jeeves isn't running around with a red team with research. You know what I mean?
Jeeves.
Yeah.
No, I think that I forget what I think. I had a thought.
Dude,
I
it is
just went to the-
ADHD.
You and
heaven
Right
right
here,
now.
David.
Rust, I can see it right here.
I was just thinking, like, this is one of the most reasonable and conversationally, the discourse is good, and
It
here
was
we are
good.
making good points, and then we were
It was
just
good until Ask Jeeves. He threw me off with Ask Jeeves. It was something about. Oh, okay. I'm back. I got it. It's around translating risk to executives and those that control the money. All right. So we talked about, can you make internal cybersecurity be revenue generating, and if you have a use case for that and you can advocate for it, then you might have some additional budget. What I was going to say is, you need to be able to translate the risk and evaluate the true risk to your industry based off of the landscape. So knowing who's going after your industry, knowing what is the reputational risk that's posed to you, all of that. Where I think that the Yahoo is messed up is that if they were not a target previously, they just raised their risk significantly by cutting their staff. So, like, yeah, keeping them probably would have been. It's almost like just keeping them on staff and not growing it, but just keeping them would have been less damage, because I think there's a strong possibility we see a Yahoo breach in the next year, and the cost of that is going to absolutely outweigh the cost that it would have been to keep them on staff.
But the shareholders.
Indeed.
No, there are no shareholders. Yahoo is private equity owned.
Oh, is
Really?
it?
Which is part of why they're have this push to get to profitability, which is why they got laid off.
Are we really
they are
sure
just
like
deferring
Yahoo
that.
isn't profitable, or is it just we're paying CEOs $22 million a year?
I think they are just deferring the.
I think we're gonna have to start calling
coming-
Mario here next. You know.
You can't say that.
Ouch.
You can't.
Just lost
okay.
another sponsor.
Who, Yahoo?
No,
They
that's
weren't going to
Nintendo
sponsor
again.
us anyways. They laid off their red team. They're definitely not going to go to the cyber idiots and go, "Hey, here's $100. Say something nice about us." You know.
We lose
Well,
Ask
you're gonna-
Jeeves and now this.
You're going to keep bringing it up. You're going to talk about the person that reported him. We're going to lose McDonald's. That's what I'm thinking. We're about to lose McDonald's.
Didn't you
Go to
say
their
you know
competitor, go
the
straight
guy?
to Burger King because they wouldn't do it.
I do know the person that was responsible for reporting. I found out through back channels, we'll say. I'm not saying that I know them well, but I have
Yeah.
crossed paths with them in a previous life.
It's a small world, man. That guy's he's from 20 minutes from where I live, and then he's in the same tech space as I'm in, as far as like people I communicate with online, because he's an IT guy. And so like my neighbor Ben, his name is Ben, like he's in groups on like Facebook and other things, and so I'm in those same groups and he's in those groups as well. So we've communicated across each other at some point. I was like, I didn't realize how like close together like all these things were. It's kind of crazy.
Evan and Luigi are BFFs as
Yeah,
well.
we're best. Yeah, I'm gonna go visit him in jail.
FBI, come get him.
Well, there we go, guys. Christmas is ruined.
We're now taunting the federal government. Let's lean into it. Let's do it.
We just lost the federal government as sponsors.
We just lost the Fed.
Good. DOD
Who else
just
can we
pulled
piss
the
off?
funding. Yeah.
I'm not gonna donate any more Windows XP machines to you guys.
Shit.
Here, we can pull them back with the next one that I know that we were going to talk about, which is
All right, let's go.
the Chinese hacker who got charged. I think this was you, right, Bobby? Again, this is
The
this
Sophos
another one
one?
you found, or was this one Ross?
I'm the newsman. Share all the news with the world.
You're the only one who's been you've had
He's
a
dressed as
had
Santa
a
for a
nice
reason.
nice relaxing December. The rest of us have been suffering in consulting hell. So yeah, give us the synopsis on this one, because this is kind of funny.
Yeah, one dude working on behalf of the Chinese basically popped 8,000 Sophos firewalls through a SQL injection. And if you look at the news article, it's pretty funny because he just has all these, like, I don't know if they're like selfies they like pulled from the dude's cell phone, but it seems like it's like I doubt he posted these, but there's just like 4 selfies of the dude from like different angles with the same glasses on, which is funny as if like it provides like a different identification because he looks the same in all of them. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that you can, in one SQL map, you can suddenly pop like 8,000 U.S. companies. I don't know if it's U.S. and EU. I assume it's primarily U.S. if we're indicting him. But
should
It
also
sounds
be
like it's
noted that
unoff
he,
too, right?
huh?
It had to be unoff, right? 8,000 hosts
Yeah,
would be unauthenticated. That's terrible.
Yeah, he developed the 0
I
day
was going to say
himself,
awesome, but all right.
and then yeah,
Terrible quotes.
mad respect, but bad for
Oh,
the
I was
company.
saying terrible for Sophos is what I'm saying. Like, that's an awful mistake on their part.
says the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation said that the exploit was used to infiltrate approximately 81,000 firewalls. Lovely. And this guy worked for a company called, shit, I'm gonna screw this one.
Let's hear it.
Rod, just put it on the
Sichuan.
screen.
It's like Sichuan.
On here you say it.
Sichuan?
Yeah, Sichuan.
Szechuan chicken sauce?
Szechuan? No, it's not that. But that's the only difficult word, which I think is the only Chinese word in here, and the rest is Silence Information Technology Company Limited. I want to
totally a real thing and not a shell company for
Yeah.
CCP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
Dude.
say owned by, and it's another 3-letter org in the Chinese industry government.
Yeah.
Great. We just lost China as the sponsor.
Oh, man.
Good.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Best
Average
sponsors ever.
episode of the Cyber Idiots. We just lose government sponsors, private sponsors. Luigi and Mario are out.
Probably gained a couple APT sponsors though out of this
True.
one.
Yeah. The only people who actually care enough are the ones that we just shit talk enough times. Yeah, no,
but this ties into our previous discussion around like the profit and cost center, because like you could argue like, okay, if a red team, if Sophos internal red team had found this, SQL injection as part of an op, right? Like who knows how many fines and, lawsuits they're going to be paying out to companies that were, got popped and had to pay ransomware. Like that's a clear, like, okay, like had we had this team that had discovered this vuln, like we would not have had to pay like X amount in fines and lawsuit payouts. Like it's not necessarily a profit generator, but it's certainly like a more compelling cost benefit. Yeah.
Very much.
Well, it
so.
also
That's-
reminds me of what we said before this with the sales thing, right? Like David was saying, it's like 1% of the time they make successful sales, right? It's just like 1% of the time you make like a really big research finding and it saves you billions of dollars. Like that's how I feel about it.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and the worst part is getting caught with your pants down, right? Like, because those moments, I guess they don't really hurt these big companies as much. I mean, you still lose. I think they say it's 10 to 15% of their general revenue. But I mean, 10% or 15% of your general revenue when it's in the billions is like, let me cry with my $100 bills. So like, I don't know if they actually see the repercussions as bad, which I've been having a lot of conversation around that, as far as like the people who suffer the most in these breaches are not these companies, but the consumer of these products, the everyday Americans. And it kind of makes you a little upset in the sense that, like, shouldn't we give a bigger shit about it? Because it's like these people are just everyday Joe Schmoes, right? Like they don't live in the same paranoid world as us, where we're constantly like, oh shit, I probably should put this AV on my system, because if I don't, it's just easy path to hack. But
Wait, are you saying the $5 I got from my Equifax breach wasn't comparable?
dude, oh my god. You got $5? I got like $2.50.
You got $5?
Yeah, I think I got
I
like
just
$2
got it, too.
from it.
And I
yeah.
just found out that if I don't use it in 3 months, they charge me $5 every 6 months until it's gone, which I thought was illegal.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that's.
Yeah, I thought that was illegal. I'm pretty positive.
Watch
I'll
them
go
make
back.
money off of it.
I forget to like close it out, and they just charge me. It's like in the negatives.
Oh shit.
Our red team is not a profit generator, but you know what is getting breached and then charging people for identity monitoring.
Wait, Ross, I think you just lost Equifax as a sponsor.
Gah.
This one's on you.
I'll take it. I'll take that L. You know what's interesting? We talk about like the loss. Whether if you don't have the right folks in place, they're not doing the research. You have a lot of you expose yourself to loss or risk. What I'm trying to get across is that the C-suite doesn't care about reputational risk as much as they used to. Like I have been doing tabletops for 6-7 years, and I've worked with a variety of companies, and in a variety of capacities. And one thing that I've seen is there's an increase in executives saying, well, everybody's being hacked. And the reputational risk is not quite what it was 3 years ago, because it's becoming so commonplace that it's like, okay, we got hacked this week, someone else is going to get hacked next week, and they'll be in the front pages.
So I
that's
know
partly because the populace doesn't seem to care anymore either.
Yeah.
Like Equifax got hacked, and we all laughed about that a second ago.
Target's been
happened
breached
again.
like 6 times.
It's the
yeah.
second time they got hacked.
AT&T's been fucked more times
That's
than
what
we
I'm
can
saying.
count.
Like,
yeah.
we just don't care anymore when that happens. So to be fair, they're not wrong. That the
Well, so
reputational damage caused is effectively nil. Because
I don't know that we
yeah,
don't
we're gonna
care.
laugh about it, but we don't have another choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do we do about it? Because like our government doesn't even want to do anything about it. We don't even have the privacy laws that Europe has. Like, there's literally nothing to be done about it.
Right. So there's no ramifications for it, and we have no other options. So you're gonna keep going to Facebook, even though Facebook is stealing all your information. You're gonna keep doing it. What just beeped at me? So if we don't care, then why should the CISO care?
I mean,
he doesn't give a shit.
National Public Data just a couple months ago released they had a hack where they lost the Social Security numbers of 270 million people, and it barely broke the
more than that.
front page. It was like, okay, we're all used to it at this point.
The
Dude,
worst
this
part
year
about
alone,
that
3
was
times I got mine hacked. 3 times, 3
Yeah.
different companies. Ticketmaster, who was it? Comcast, or not Comcast, the other one, AT&T, and then I don't remember the third one.
I mean,
So
the
it just
FBI
keeps
is
happening.
literally coming out and saying, "Hey, all the telecom companies have been hacked by China, so
Go to
stop
Signal.
using RCS." You know, and it's like, I think on some level you're not wrong. Like, there's a lot of this fatigue in the American populace of like, oh, for fuck's sakes, this stuff again, right? Like, I swear to God, like we have permanent credit monitoring on behalf of just about every company that I've ever signed up for because they just don't care. And I know we've joked about it, or I've joked about it a few times with the whole Luigi situation. But like the truth is like people are starting to become really fed up with the aristocrats of the US. And like a lot of folks have forgotten the French Revolution, right? Like people got really fed up with this classism difference and like the aristocrats really like fucking over the peasants. And nowadays, most of us really are much more on that similar level as the French were back in the day. Like, I'm not saying go out and kill your CEO, but like the fact
I'm not
is
saying
that
don't do it.
It kind of felt like a
Whoa.
Yeah.
look. I don't condone
I
shooting
think they got
anybody.
beheaded at the end of that.
They definitely did. But no, what I'm trying to say is like these, like the caring of those who hold power over us, whether through organizations or through government, is this ebb and flow that constantly happens over time. We're coming up to a point in where people are actually getting really frustrated with the fact of this like current economic situation within the US or globally and the disparity between classes, right? And like as that kind of amplifies, yeah, we might be all fatigued about this right now, but people are going to increasingly get more and more upset about it. At least that's the way I think, right? Like the more often that this happens, where organizations are still not giving two shits about taking care of their consumers and being loyal to their consumers, the
Or
more people,
employees.
yeah, or their employees, the more people are just going to get upset and just be like, all right, enough is enough, you know. And at some point it's going to crack, and it's going to cause a lot of problems at the C-suite. And I don't think that we'll see, like, you know, riots in the street, people going out and beheading all the aristocrats or whatnot. Hopefully not. But I do think that we will see a mass, like, spring of changing leadership because of it.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Well, and I think if you are a C-suite individual that happens to be watching this, I would highly recommend today's sponsor, Black Bison Cyber, who focuses solely on executive protection.
Is it Beige Mystic Cyber?
They are one of the best in the industry, and they will help you protect yourself. So go check out Black Bison Cyber next
We
month.
better
when
be
they have a
getting paid by
website.
them if they are getting called out as a sponsor.
I just want to point out it's BBC.
Yeah, sure is.
Don't forget
I
the
think it's,
LLC at the end.
I'm gonna put my conspiracy hat on for a second, but like I don't know if you remember, like, you know,
Hell
we had
yeah.
DES as like an encryption standard for the longest time for all communications, and there was all this pushback from the government because basically they also wanted to be able to see our data for like all intents and purposes. So I kind of feel like we're at another phase where it's like, yeah, we could force these companies to do something to make this better and more secure, but then how do we get the data from you guys and these big companies? Like it's like, I don't know if it's actually happening, but like it feels very reminiscent of the same thing where people eventually kept pushing back, and finally they changed the standard, right? But it's like that's where I feel like we're coming up to again.
I feel like we're living in a twilight zone when the FBI and NSA or whoever it was recently was like, y'all should really be using encrypted comms.
The FBI? Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Specifically
Bro.
triple DES, please.
Yeah, when the government comes out and says, "Hey guys, look, this is pretty fucked up." Actually, that Chinese threat actor that we just talked about is accredited with breaking into 36 critical infrastructure companies. So like we were able to see it pretty massively, right? And we've all kind of assumed it, but now the government's actively going, "Yeah, aliens are real, and also use Signal." You know, like
and encryption or don't talk.
yeah. Snitches get stitches. Stop using 4G. Yeah.
Twilight Zone shit.
It's going
I
back
think I think the
pigeon
the
mail.
most
Ross, did you get my pigeon?
Did what?
God, what are we sending?
Sorry,
I think
Bobby,
they
go ahead.
No, I think the most one of the most interesting aspects is like when it comes to the, like, you know, the AI training data sets. Like OpenAI is paying the New York Times and Reddit, and like they can't pull enough data to train their models, so they're looking to like syndicated data. So just like using GPUs to invent data to then train their models, whereas the Chinese can just they now all have like our text data that they can just use to create their like disinformation model that they'll deploy in
Do
2030.
y'all remember Tay?
I don't.
TAI, I think it was a Microsoft AI that they unleashed
Oh,
into the,
the
world at one
racist
point.
one. The one
And it
that
was like,
4chan got a hold of.
Shit, Reddit! And then just
Yeah.
just fucking, you couldn't even read the shit it was saying. It was been censored.
Yeah,
Can
it
you
got
imagine
into
training an
4chan.
AI off of Reddit? It was 4chan. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Every conversation
Yeah.
David's ever had.
4chan.
It got
Can you
into
imagine
4chan and
relying on an AI trained by 4chan and Reddit?
it was bad. It was like tweeting, and it was really polite tweets initially, and then it got real racist real
bad.
quick. Like it
They shut
wasn't
down
like
within 48 hours. They were like, Jesus Christ, take it down.
it was like middle of Kentucky racism, you know, like it was bad.
And there goes Kentucky. Thanks a lot, David.
And 4chan.
Wait, where's
We lost both.
isn't that where the KKK is based out of? Kentucky?
Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Well, I messed
Well,
it
was
up.
founded
Sorry,
in
Kentucky.
Tennessee. Pulaski, Tennessee. We lost them as a sponsor as well.
I don't think we needed them as a sponsor in the first place,
I
buddy.
don't want them paying for nothing.
Yeah.
I used to work for a company where I did these mud runs across the country, and we did one of them on site in Pulaski, Tennessee. And they warned me when I went there, and they were like, "Hey, so you know, this is like where the at least I was told this is where the KKK started, and the property that we used, they were like, hey, this used to there were some slaves that lived on this property, and while we were going out there to build the course, we saw this wall with bullet holes in it, and it's like, I'm not gonna ask any more questions. I think there's enough
Big old
said
bullet
here.
holes, like
Big old
ball-sized bullet holes.
Ball-sized bullet holes.
Like
Not-
basketball.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. So that's why I know that.
This got real depressing. Maybe I shouldn't have said Kentucky. Oh man, fuck me. The repercussions of my actions are hidden immediately today.
The Rammies, bro.
I'm glad that out of all this, you feel uncomfortable. Not let's feel bad about what happened. It's you're uncomfortable.
Dude, don't get me wrong. Definitely an atrocity, but I'm just realizing what I say is going to lead us into a conversation of SpaghettiOs, we're getting censored from YouTube now.
Just lost SpaghettiOs as a sponsor.
We're never
Said their
getting
slogan.
paid.
I think that gets you a lawsuit. I'm pretty sure that's copyrighted.
You know who else we're about to lose as a sponsor is Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, talk to us about Krispy Kreme.
Yeah,
Hit
so
me up,
Krispy
'cause I
Kreme
haven't really
filed.
looked at it.
Krispy Kreme filed an 8K, which said basically they believe that the issue they're having is material. They are not sure yet because they haven't been able to assess damages, but there was illicit activity to their environment. And if you try to go order Krispy Kreme online right now, you will see everything is unavailable. And I know that because I just tried. There is no online ordering in the US.
I was gonna make a joke about how this is the worst thing to happen to fat guys in this country.
This is what actually changes policy. Like tomorrow, there's actions from the government, fixing all of our privacy laws, all because of Krispy Kreme. I could see it.
Great. Now we lost fat guys as a sponsor. Fucking
Right,
Bobby.
what a savage remark, though. I love it.
It wasn't a shot at Ross. It was I was thinking of saying that before.
Where did I
you said-
come from? What? I didn't even know I was the butt of that joke.
No, you weren't the one of the joke. It was just funny because you said that you went on to order, and then it was...
Oh, I went on to see. Oh my god! So I went on to test it because I saw in their 8K online ordering is still unavailable, and I think the 8K came out yesterday. And I was like, I want to go
I'm
see.
looking at it right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can get to ordering at your local one, and then it says unavailable for everything.
Everything. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's all unavailable.
Yeah.
Even drinks, donuts, doesn't matter what it is.
But their 8K
Daily
said this
fresh
started in
deliveries.
November 9th, I think. So it's been going on for a minute.
Wow.
November 29th, the
29th,
company
yeah.
was notified regarding unauthorized activity on a portion of its IT systems. I like how it outlines that daily fresh deliveries to our retail and restaurant partners are uninterrupted. Look, we're good. We don't have the internet right now.
If you want to do it the old-fashioned way, we're still here.
I love that they're advertising in an 8K. Daily fresh deliveries in our SEC disclosure.
It's like the marketing team wrote it out, and then a lawyer came in and was like, "We got to make sure we hit our TMs here."
That's all. 8K is also their marketing budget. They have $8,000 to deploy.
I want an RSS feed.
Squeeze in fresh wherever we can.
It actually is scary though. Donuts are not essential nutrition, but my Stop and Shop here in Boston, didn't have
Hold on, self. Didn't know that.
Well, apparently I didn't know that. Go ahead, Bob.
You're beautiful, Ross. Don't worry.
What an episode already.
So your Stop and Shop?
Yeah, they didn't have. They also got hit with an attack and didn't have chicken for 3 weeks. If it's actually an important food group, not donuts. All right,
Stop
forget
and Shop chicken is the one step above the bottom of the food pyramid. Is grains, Stop and Shop chicken, cheese.
Wait, where are you putting Stop and Shop? I thought that was right below salad. Stop and Shop.
Holy
chicken.
shit. Whew. Man,
crying,
who would
I
have
don't know
thought
why.
talking about Krispy Kreme would have been the funniest fucking thing to talk about? Usually we say some wild shit. This is the most normal shit we've said, and this is hilarious. Oh,
I'm telling you, somebody should just like do this. They should start swapping to RSS feeds until they get it fixed. Just every time they get something new in stock, just pop it out in an RSS feed. Good to go.
They had some holes in their cybersecurity, donut holes.
Boom. Got him.
Oh, it's
Did you
dad joke time. All right.
I won't laugh at that. I will not encourage it. I'll just give you the.
Did you see how much their common value or the common stock value changed per stock
No.
inside there? So it says title of each class because you have to write out what is the material item, and it says common stock, 1 penny per value per share. Like, hey guys, it's gonna hurt us a penny per share, so we got to report this. Like, fuck, like that's bad. I mean, you would think that if they were actually getting hit pretty heavily, like there would be more of a damage. I guess it depends on what the criminals have stolen.
Sounds
but-
like they're getting Boston creamed.
We didn't bring you on for this.
Oh no, I like him. He can stay. This is great.
I'm about to get replaced.
I was just trying to talk about Stop and Shop chicken, you guys.
Oh god, I'm crying too now. Oh, that's great.
Man.
If America's men don't get their protein, our military weakens, we get taken over by China, and the end of the world happens. So I would argue that Stop and Shop chicken is the most important asset we have as a country.
Nope.
I don't even have one near me. What am I gonna do?
It's
myself?
We're about to get
Cool.
Stop and Shop as a sponsor for that.
Mm.
We're gonna pick them up.
Stop and Shop, hit us up.
Yeah.
New sponsor loading. No, but it
Run
wasn't,
the
it
ad,
wasn't
run
Stop
the
and
ad.
Shop chicken. It was all chicken. The shelves were empty.
Oh,
Like all meat was not present because they got hit with like a supply chain that affected, I don't know, truck routing, and yeah, just couldn't deliver it.
can I just?
Yeah,
No,
hit us.
I'm gonna say this.
All right.
When you said Stop
Wait,
and
can
Shop-
we put a disclaimer ahead of time so Rod can like cut to a little
Yeah.
thing that's like
Is this
Probably a
payback
good
for the
idea.
donut line? It really wasn't targeted.
No, no, because I'm the joke of this. So Rod, feel free to stop here. When you said shop and stop chicken, I thought you were exclusively talking about fried chicken because it's the only thing I could think of was. It's the only type of chicken I thought of was fried chicken.
Wow,
I
Ross,
didn't
way to make everything racist.
I didn't even consider that it was like all the raw chicken. I was just like, oh, so like, you know, they don't have fried chicken. That sucks.
Ross. I thought the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, Stop and Shop chicken. That's definitely fried chicken.
All right, well, I'm
But-
glad we're not alone.
Travesty.
Yeah.
I started the story by talking about the importance of our food supply chain. Why would I be talking about fried chicken? I said healthier than donuts. Where do we put fried chicken on in relation to donuts?
Because it's healthier than donuts. At least there's some protein value there. It might both be fried, but that's their correlation between each other.
But the sugar in donuts wakes you up, which causes you to go work out, which makes you healthier.
Does it though? I
Wait,
feel like I
what-
crash after eating
What kind of meth are you doing,
is like
dude?
the-
Like,
Who made your donuts?
It's logic where it's like the slowest brain cells get culled by the alcohol, so it actually makes you smarter.
I feel
All right.
solid. Either way, what a way to end it. What are we at? 40 minutes? We're at 40 minutes.
I
Now we
think
know the title for this video and the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Giant donut and Stop and Shop chicken.
Picture of the food pyramid, but it's just a donut.
I think we're about good here.
Yeah. I think we're pretty solid. Anyways, Evan, thanks for coming on. I know this is probably the most chaos that I think we've had in a long time.
We
Thanks
didn't even
for-
ask Evan any questions.
Yeah. I don't think we didn't even do the normal interview thing.
We'll have to bring you on another time, Evan, and ask you more about your research. And yeah, we would definitely have to bring you on again.
Yeah, because you have
Sounds
some
good.
cool stuff with like your phishing platform and
Yeah.
your research around password cracking. It's actually phenomenal stuff to read. So yes, expect Evan back on. Evan, before we let you go though, any closing words for people you want to shout out? Anything you want to call out?
No, not really. I hate everybody, so.
Cool. We just lost everyone as a sponsor. Anyways, thanks so much. That's our show. We love you. Only on days that end on Y. and we'll end with a clap as tradition. So what we
Join us
try to
for a
do
clap.
is we go for a clap together at the end of one, and this is just to make Rod line up the audio, even though he doesn't have to line up the audio. So
Never works.
He hates that we
once.
do this, but
yeah, it's just a loud noise. Anyways, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go, Rod.
Awful
Line
as
that
always.
bad boy up. Anyways, thanks so much. We're done.